Good evening. In the process of looking back and remembering, we may not only notice the past of sin. On the contrary, we must be able to see the redemptive deeds of the Lord in the past. This also does not always come naturally. That is why the Lord reminds us of it in His Word. The story of the passage of Israel through the Jordan River is a remarkable story from the past. It is recorded for us in the Word of the Lord. This is so that we will look back and remember. During the moving events where Israel entered the Promised Land, we find an interesting instruction from the Lord to Joshua. One man from each of the 12 tribes of Israel had to pick up a stone from the riverbed during the passage and stack it on the opposite bank as a kind of monument. And the reason for this is given later, Joshua 4 verse 24. And Joshua set up at Gilgal the 12 stones they had taken out of the Jordan. He said to the Israelites, "In the future, when your descendants ask their parents, 'What do these stones mean?' tell them, 'Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your God dried up the Jordan before you until you have crossed over. The Lord your God did to the Jordan what He had done to the Red Sea when He dried it up before us until we had crossed over. He did this so that all the people of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God." A few things about this. The 12 stones represents the 12 tribes of Israel. All the people of the land are saved, each individual, but also the collective people of the Lord, every tribe, but also the other tribes. A believer is always part of the greater part of the congregation and of the universal church of the Lord, all over all ages. Stones, because stones do not simply perish. The story of the miraculous passage must be told again and again. The children in their descendants must ask again and again. The stones are deliberately stacked on top of each other. It's extraordinary. It has a meaning. It should make children ask. The stone pile should make children ask about the meaning of the stones. And asking is a way children learn. When they ask, they are interested more than when you ask, or even when you tell without being asked. I wonder how much of what we do as believers makes our children ask why we do it because it's different from the normal. When asked, the parents must inform them or make them known. The word literally means that children must be brought to knowledge of faith. It's more than factual knowledge. It's a knowledge that must lead to a relationship with the Lord. And it only comes when parents who already have the knowledge of faith and relationship with the Lord tell it to their children. The intent of the narrative was twofold. Verse 24. The salvation of the Lord had to be proclaimed so that all the peoples of the earth could realize who the Lord is, and so that the people would always serve the Lord and fear the Lord their God. You ask me today what the meaning of the stone pile is for today? But I'm telling you, I want to inform you, I want to awaken to your religious knowledge that it's not referring to something, but to someone. The stone pile is a sign of God's almighty salvation through Jesus Christ. His salvation not only for Israel, but for all believers, from all peoples and languages and nations. The cross becomes the sign of people like me and you, and all of us together, who live in a living relationship with the Lord. forever. Good night.